Hello, everybody. This is Kelly Whitehair, and I'm going to take just a few minutes to provide you with some helpful information for finding a lab facility for your FNDH 342 Food Production Management class. The primary goal of this class is for students to learn the principles of food production management and be able to demonstrate their ability to apply those principles, whether that be in a commercial or non-commercial food service establishment. Which is why this class requires you to have a lab facility to perform those tasks in. So I'm going to start by telling you that this is a rigorous class, and it's going to require you to be disciplined and have good study habits. I'm going to schedule assignments according to the timeline that supports the learning objectives as the class. So I don't open the entire class up front. It's a week-by-week module. I'm going to use various teaching strategies, such as audio-video recordings, video lectures. We will have weekly Zoom discussion rooms. There'll be message board postings, written assignments, and of course, your hands-on laboratory experience. So what I've heard from past students is that the Distance 342 class does require more time than some of their other distance classes. So it's going to be a busy semester, and just be ready to put in some hard work and you will do great. So for starters, some of you might wonder, why does a distance class have a laboratory? Why do we have a hands-on component? So this course is designed for you to apply those food production management principles learned in your didactic portion of the class and experience the real world of food production management. So we feel that learning is just simply enhanced by this coordinated approach. We know that the learning curve might be steep, as some of you will have a ton of food service experience and others will have none. But as dietetic students, we know that you're up to this challenge. So students who are very successful in the class generally learn a lot. They're organized, they're focused, and they have a great lab site. They have a good work ethic and a good attitude. So we look forward to having you in class this semester. So in order for you to begin our class, first of all, we need you to find a lab site. And you have to have that lab site found before the first day of class. So specifically what this means is that you have to have a lab facility that has been approved by me, Dr. Whitehair, as being suitable for the lab prior to beginning the class. So start this process early, please. It often takes you contacting multiple sites and multiple facilities before you find one that's willing to work with you and one that is a good fit for you. So be open and honest with them about what you need and what is expected. Show them the lab sponsors packet that's available to you. It's going to give them an idea of some basic information about the class. And make certain that you tell them and that they know this is a learning experience for you and not a working position. This isn't an internship. This is a class in which you are trying to gain experience. So for starters, first thing you need to do, brainstorm a list of potential facilities that are in your area already. You may already have some great contacts, and if not, the process of finding this facility is going to help you gain contacts. Think of things such as college and university food services. In fact, if you're in an area and you know there's a college or university, reach out to us. We might have a contact that works there. Think about K through 12 food service. Make certain, though, that they have some hands-on, made from scratch foods that they prepare, and it's not just a heat and serve operation, though. Large retirement communities or extended care or assisted living facilities are often wonderful for this class. Of course, there's medical facilities and hospitals. Just a heads up that sometimes there's a lot of legal and liability issues, so meeting with these food service directors as early as possible will be a benefit to you. Think about large childcare operations or businesses and industries in your area that may have their own cafeteria or employee setting. And of course, the community kitchens and Meals on Wheels programs often too have large central kitchens. Once you come up with that list, prioritize your list. Begin calling the food service operations and set up some appointments to meet and discuss what you need. First of all, do your research on their facility. Don't walk in there blind. Understand what their goal is. What's their mission? Who do they serve? Show an interest in their facility and how this experience is going to help you develop into a professional. And if you're lucky enough, or if you're determined enough to get an in-person meeting, dress professionally, be on time. Pretend it's an interview for a job position, because in a long, roundabout way, it is. There are some things you need to make sure that they can provide you with. First of all, do they use standardized recipes? Meaning, not that every single thing that they prepare has to have a standardized recipe, but do they use them on a regular basis? Do they have a variety of large equipment, not just home-sized equipment that you could experience anywhere? Do they prepare at least some of their menu items from scratch? In other words, make certain it is not an entirely heat and serve operation, which unfortunately does happen a lot. And do they feed them a minimum of about 50 people per meal? The reason we ask you these things is that if they can't meet some of these standards, you're going to get about halfway through the semester and you're really going to struggle on some of the assignments. So asking up front is your best way to prevent issues later in the semester. The third thing you need to do, while you're chatting with them and discussing the possibility, interview them. Make certain that it's a good fit for you. Share the lab sponsors packet with them, which is available via the Global Campus site as well as your Canvas dietetics information site. Once you've chatted with them, complete the lab facility approval form that you can link to here as well as on those two sites. And it's basically going to ask you some questions and information you need to find out from that facility, such as where is it at? Who are the clientele? What are the credentials of the person who you'll be reporting to? How many individuals do they feed each day? What meals do they serve? Is it just a lunch facility or do they do breakfast, lunch, and dinner? How many employees do they have? What type of meal pattern? Do they have a static menu similar to a restaurant or do they have a 3-week cycle? Do they use those standardized recipes on a regular basis? And do they have some large equipment that they're willing to let you get some experience on? So once you find out all that information, you can submit that lab facility approval form to me and I'll review it. Let them know you're submitting that information to me. It doesn't necessarily mean that that is the site you'll be working in. I'll take a look at it, and if I think it's a good fit for the class, I'll let you know, and I will approve that site, and then you can move on. But it's also a good idea to have some backups planned. Every once in a while, I'll be reviewing a site, and I will just catch something that makes me think it may not work well for you, and it won't assist you in completing some of the learning objectives and assignments that we have this semester. So start early, submit that approval form, and hope that I'll just get back to you and say, hey, great facility. But I will also be honest if I don't think it's a good fit for you. So once you've heard back from me that I have approved a site, you're going to have that sponsor sign the form at the end of the lab sponsors packet. It's basically a student sponsor agreement form. It's having them signing saying they agree to be your sponsor and they understand the points and objectives of the class. It's also going to have you as the student sign it saying, hey, I'm going to be communicating well, I'm going to have good attendance, and I understand what they expect me to wear and do while I'm in their operations. You're also going to submit that on an online submission portal. And finally, a lot of times students say, so what all is due prior to the first day? There's a lot of things to think about. So first of all, reaching out and finding a facility and submitting their information on an approval form to me so that I can approve it for you and let you know. Once I have approved it, you as well as the sponsor need to sign the agreement form and upload that to the submission portal. And finally, this class does require you to be ServSafe Manager certified. So I encourage you, if you're not already certified, to get that knocked out ahead of time. It is good for 5 years. If you need information on how to do that, please reach out to me. And once you are certified, you can either upload a photo or a scan of your certificate or a screenshot of the passing screen when you take the exam. That is also done online via a portal. Again, you can link to all of these items and these submission portals on this presentation, or find those links on the Global Campus page or your Canvas dietetics information page. And of course, as you're going through this process, feel free to reach out to me with any questions you might have. I do keep track of all the locations past students have used, so I might be able to give you some ideas on where to begin. Or if you're just needing some ideas, if you're wondering, do I have any contacts in the area? Maybe we've had past students, maybe we have alumni, maybe we have professional colleagues. So start with what you know, and then reach out if you need some assistance finding out some other ideas and some other suggestions. So I guess my tips for this class are, start early at finding the lab facility, reach out to me if you need information, and be ready to have a great semester. Thanks, and we'll see you soon in class.